without me realizing it. My stop ended up being 9 points. That's crazy. I feel like I hadn't done that since I first started trading. How are we doing the screen recording thing?
Yeah, I'm already recording, but if you're gonna show something, go ahead and show it.
Do you need the chart?
Yeah.
All right.
Nah, I woke up at 5:30 because I didn't want to sound like Eric.
We should have done 6 then.
Well, I just felt like I needed all that time.
Looking for the 7th. Oh, fucking A, of course. Seven, 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 seven. Oh, well, that's gonna be a problem. I don't have the 7th.
I see.
Do you have it?
Yeah. I got the 7th, but we didn't take any trades because the market was choppy, and I could show y'all mine, but it has a bunch. I wasn't told till Wednesday to stop creating those former supply new resistance lines, so you're gonna see it.
Both of you put it in the Discord?
What?
And you guys put your screenshot in the Discord?
Oh. Yeah, hold on. Not to screen share it, right? Just to post it?
Yeah.
Okay. I put mine.
Dash your pre-market lines? Notice Eloy has dashed lines. What does that mean?
Those are just be lines of like other basing candles that I see near the main basing candle that I wrote down.
Oh, they're like the lines base resistance.
Yeah, it'd just be like if I found a 4-hour basing candle, that'll be the main box, and then I kind of do the dashing lines if I find other basing candles inside the box as like possible stop loss prices.
Oh, okay, that's smart. I didn't think of that.
That 45-minute supply you got, Gabriel, that didn't have a box?
No, it wasn't the key.
Eloy, the way your chart's set up, it looks like there'd be a short opportunity.
Right where it's chopping at?
The second candle. Just looking at your confirmations, that's why. Microsoft couldn't get, well, I mean, you could have been like, damn, I want that 1 hour supply to hit, but the way it was filling at pre-market high, and then your NVIDIA was filling at 30-minute supply, and then your what is that? NQ? Oh, I don't know what you have it as. Former supply, new resistance. I don't know what you mean by that, but
it was just something that stood out at the like previous days.
Right now I just have like was it? Bookmap playing at a slow space, and there's 1,000 lots at 5778 around 537, and then another 1,000 lots at 5779. Yeah, 5779.
Did you take a trade?
No, 5779. But that's like super choppy range right there.
Yeah, the way I have
Yeah,
it.
this definitely was a non-trading day. But I think this goes back to that idea of like knowing when news is gonna how news is gonna affect the market for the week. Because definitely when like CPI, PPI, and consumer sentiment are on Thursday and Friday, the first 3 days of the market tend to be like this. Oh, and FOMC was on Wednesday, so definitely the week of FOMC is super choppy before FOMC, like almost all the time. I feel like social media hyped up FOMC when I first started trading, just because it was like, oh, there's a lot of volatility this day, but I think FOMC is like the worst day to trade ever.
Yeah, it sucked. Pretty boring.
But it's interesting how large orders are being filled in pre-market right now. You guys see my screen?
Yeah, Bookmap.
Like this 1,000 lot, and then an 800 lot at 5781. But it pops up all the way to 5785, 86, so like up here somewhere. And then it drops and it keeps chopping after that. So I'm curious to see if there's like a large order here at the open.
There is, in case if you look at my chart, I charted down these two buyers. It was a 2,000 plus buyer.
900 lot here,
Yeah,
700 lot. Then at the right at the open, there's 1,862 at 5783. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 large orders. And then it weakens. Oh, this is too fast. Pops up right there. Oh, there's a large order. 900 lots. This is probably a 637. 800 lots right here. The thing that would be difficult for me here is that SVP is like larger at the bottom, so it would be very hard for me to be like, yeah, I'm gonna short this. But it's pretty obvious here: 1,000 lots, then 900 lots, then 1,000 lots again.
but that they're failing to break above that.
Yeah, exactly. And then the weaker selling, like I'd be kind of scared. I think this is the drop though. 500 lots, and it just starts to fill.
And nothing was stood out to you at this point that you took a trade.
I think I was just being patient because it wasn't at my key level. Unfortunately, I don't have my chart for this day. But if I was just looking at order flow, that would be a good sign. For sure.
So you look at big sell orders being not big. Those are the green bubbles are buy orders being placed as if it's not breaking immediately any level, or I guess it's only when it's near your levels. But if it's not breaking anything immediately, you don't see it as we should long it.
No, just because it's fucked me in the past before. Like, Like for example, the day that it just kept selling off, I took like 6 trades, and it was we could review it, but it was something like this where I was seeing large orders, but the large orders were continuing; they weren't failing. So the fact that there was large orders down this 57.78, I knew that even though it's failing here, it could have trouble at 57.78. So the risk to reward to 57.78 from 57, 84, 78, 79, 81, 82, 83, 84. That's 6 points. It's decent, but it's not like the best. So like if it's a 6 point reward and it's not at my supply or demand zone, it's not really worth it to put risk on.
And that's all based off like the idea of taking a long.
No, right now I'm thinking short because it's trying long. It's trying to push higher. Right here, it pushed 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 higher, failed. Right here, it pushed higher with the largest amount because this is 2,000 lots right here, and it failed completely. So rather than thinking long, I'm thinking it's failing because 2,000 lot orders, buyers should be interested and push this aggressively higher.
Like, and then for it to matter, I guess I gotta with more screen time see what you're saying in regards that buyers would push it higher, but it would get pushed higher like really quick. Is that what you're like training yourself to
We
find?
seen that. We seen that the other day when you try to. I think you had tried to force a short, and I was like, "Are you in this short?" And you said, "Yeah," and then it popped back up. It had stopped you out super quick. You said
Uh huh.
that's the situation where I think we were. Oh yeah, we were consolidating under a supply zone, and equities were showing me that they were bullish. But the fact that we were in the supply zone made you short it, whereas the aggressiveness of the buyers actually allowed the market to keep pushing higher. We'll review it right now.
Yep.
But because yesterday I was reviewing on just on my own, and I did realize that when ES consolidates under supply, and like it may barely tap it, but it's consolidating all pre-market, and equities are showing you strength, that tends to be a bullish scenario for ES. Because even though it's at our supply, it's just consolidating there. So that's already a warning. The fact that it's consolidating and not dropping.
Hmm.
But this ends up just chopping for the fucking first hour and a half.
Yeah, we got off early after this one.
I wish I had my chart. I don't know why I didn't screenshot. Probably looks like Gabriel's though.
It looked like mine. I just kept these right where it's chopping at the two things I have charted there. Like, I guess the correct thing to do would be to delete those because it cut through them. But I just make them a lot lighter, like more translucent, just in case they're used for anything.
I don't like to do it just because it makes my charts look crazy.
Yeah, and I do, and I'm aware of that because I even know Carmine says like just keep it simple. Like even when I see your charts, it looks like there's nothing on there other than like your main zones that you're waiting for it to hit.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like the boxes are like so many points that that's kind of like a crazy long range.
Even here, you could see the market is failing at those large buyers again. But like I said, the support at the bottom is pretty strong. See, and then it pops up a little above it. Here, if the market 715, where's that? Oh no, it falls again. Because here, what I would be looking for if it was a good volume day is since it popped up above these large buyers, if I were, if say equities were telling me that the market was bullish, I would be looking for support right here at 57.80, 57.84. I would want buyers to step in again because one, we're above this large CVD, and two, we're above these heavy buyers. So a good opportunity if you missed getting long at the bottom is to watch for us to get above those large buyers and hold those large buyers, especially if CVD is like this. You have to be very patient, very patient for that because in this scenario the market ends up dropping. But I've seen it also where it holds the buyers again. And this is because I'm at fast speed. The market was super slow this day.
Mhm.
This is regular speed right here. Already, just the way the market's moving, this doesn't look appealing.
Real quick, you said equities will tell you if the market is bullish when, and then so like, where are you seeing your equities at when you think it's telling you that the market is bullish?
That zones.
At what?
Yeah,
Demand zone, support zone.
Okay.
It's your key demand zone.
an exact example that I wanted to show you actually, but where's my journal? Where's my journal at?
So like in my charts, it does show Microsoft was at a 15-minute demand zone near yesterday's low. NQ is at a 90-minute demand zone. Like right, they both got there at the same time. VX and
But
Nvidia.
another thing with equities is you have to, the same way I say look at ES on the 90-minute time frame, you want to look at Microsoft and or Nvidia on the 90-minute time frame also, because I'll show you right now. Last week on Tuesday when I took a bunch of shorts, the market was actually telling me, like the equities were actually telling me to be bullish. But on the weekend, I had watched a video with Dylan, and Dylan was talking about how he was viewing the market short, and that created a short bias in my head that I could not get rid of, and that shit fucked me up.
It's like, so he's so hard.
I'm never watching his videos again because it was the 8th that happened. And look at, wait, you guys can't see my chart, huh? Hold up. What is it? I can't see the. Can you see my chart?
Yeah.
All right. So on the 8th, I was super bearish. But if you look at on the 90-minute time frame, Microsoft, one, it was starting to make higher lows. So we had this large drop, which the overall market had dropped, and then we pushed up, and then we came down again, but made a higher low here. So from this day, I was already like, okay, Microsoft is starting to make higher lows because we rallied super aggressive up. And I'm on the 90-minute time frame, by the way. And then we dropped again, and coming into the 8th, we dropped into a key gap fill for me. Just because I knew, like, okay, the market's making higher lows, so the chances of Microsoft falling under this gap fill are somewhat slim unless the market really wants to fall aggressively. And then market came in and pre-market, it dropped right into the gap fill and pushed up super aggressive. I believe it was the open, or it might have popped up at the open. I mean, in pre-market. So this is the gap fill, and then in pre-market it just got aggressive, and I probably shorted thinking Microsoft was gonna fall into the gap fill again, but Microsoft was bullish because it was holding above this gap fill. So already that go in pre-market is telling me like uh Microsoft has a bullish sentiment, and then that's one, and then I go into Nvidia. I think Nvidia also had a bullish sentiment this day. The eighth, the eighth. So this is the eighth here. This day's the eighth, and I think it was holding above. So this is looking at it from a 90-minute time frame. This was resistance on the 7th, and then coming into the 8th, market fell at the close of the 7th and rallied up in pre-market, and then it started testing this resistance again. But right at the open, it popped up over resistance and just got super bullish. So the fact that Microsoft was holding that key gap fill, it was breaking aggressive resistance that it had the previous day. That's bullish right there. So even looking at the market and with a short bias was stupid of me because equities were telling me that the market was bullish. And I think Apple also had, where is the So yeah, Apple was in a similar position as Microsoft where it held a key gap fill. It was a 4-hour demand and a gap fill. I think the 4-hour came from the pre-market session. But the market fell into the gap fill, and at an overnight session, it held it and pushed up, and then at the open, it just was super aggressive. So all three of my equities were bullish. Yeah, I was trying to short ES. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean by when I say like pay attention to what the equities are doing. You want to look at it from a larger time frame and see from a market context perspective what is it doing, and then that can give you an idea of how to approach ES. That has become super key to my analysis overall. And it also helps me like figure out what the key levels are for ES also, because if ES is falling into a demand zone and I see that Microsoft and Apple are holding a key demand zone, then I'm going to see that demand zone on ES a little stronger because I know like the equities are also coming into a strong demand zone. As far as market context, that's how I'm perceiving it.
My brain can't come up with that kind of stuff.
What?
My brain can't come up with that kind of stuff.
But you're doing it.
Well, I'm not doing it this detailed.
I mean, I think that's also over time. Like, do you look at Microsoft and Apple on the 90-minute like that?
Yeah, I look at the equities and all that stuff in the 90 minutes. But I don't like read it like you do. I just extend the lines and whatever's the strongest one, I'll put the key things.
I mean,
'Cause
that works. That works.
Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know where to start. Watch zoom out again. Like I would see this like making a lower high
This one?
from the highs, from high
Oh,
237. Yeah, and make a higher, yeah, to there, making a higher low. And then I'll be like, oh shit, but it's making a higher high or a higher low too. I mean, a lower high and it's making a higher low too. So I'd be confused.
I can see that. I think another thing, that's a tough one because I do see where I have got confused like that before. I think I still sometimes do get confused like that. But I also zoom in a little bit more and then I see, okay, market's holding this resistance here. So I bold this line because I know if one, the market has held this level 2 times already, and it was previous resistance. So now this becomes key support here. So now I'm like, okay, the market can fall here, but I know this is going to be a key level because it's previous resistance and it's held 2 times. So right now, just looking at the market, I'm going to delete this. Delete this. I'm just deleting all my supplies. I don't think there's a supply. Oh, there is one. So just looking at this right here, this level right here, this 45-minute demand is my key support, and this 1 hour supply or gap fill and supply is my key resistance. And then I know that we may struggle at this gap fill, and it's key resistance because it's struggled there 1, 2, and then it would be a third time right there. It's actually struggled here 3 times already. 1, 2, 3. So if Apple can't break this, then the chances are ES isn't going to be able to push higher unless Nvidia and Microsoft do some crazy push. But right now, just looking at Apple, this is my key resistance, this is my key support. And then this gap fill may play some minor resistance as well.
For market context,
what?
So for market context, you'll zoom out, get the bigger picture, and then if you're confused or even after you get the bigger picture, you'll go intraday and get the details or some shit like that.
Yeah, I'll still stay on the 90-minute though. But like if you're zoomed out like this, you wouldn't really see that resistance that I had pointed out over here. Or if I zoom in like that, I can see like even looking at this right now, I can already see this was resistance, this was resistance. So we may have some demand here, just that I'm on the 90-minute and I haven't looked deeper into the smaller time frames. So there may be some kind of demand here also. So that's kind of how I do it. Like exactly how you said, I zoom out and then I'll go in a little closer like that. And then I start to analyze it a little more on this side.
I should do that. I need to practice that.
I think that is key to my pre-market plans for sure. The 8th.
Yeah.
We're moving on to the 8th.
Yeah.
All right, let me stop this video.